Christian Pulisic, meanwhile, another goal contribution. No, we can't show it to you. Just got to show you the pictures. He had an assist to Samu Chukwueze on Saturday. His third league assist of the season for AC Milan, who actually won 1-0 against Udinese, who had a late goal disallowed, some late drama there, but all's well that ends well as Christian Pulisic and AC Milan get the 3 points over the weekend in Serie A play. Here's a look at the most recent numbers for Christian Pulisic. 7 straight league games now with a goal or an assist for the 26-year-old American star. For more on this, we welcome into the show our good friend and colleague Ryan O'Hanlon. You can read his work over at ESPN.com. You can read some of his work behind the paywall here at ESPN+. One such article is up now. It's titled, Why Christian Pulisic, Ryan, is having the incredible club season that he's having right now at AC Milan. So for those of us who maybe don't have the subscription or straight up can't read, give us the why. Why is Christian Pulisic right now having such a good season with Milan?
Yeah, as a good company man, I should decline to answer this question. Don't stress that you should subscribe to ESPN+. But what's really changed this year, actually, and it fits in nicely with what happened this weekend, is he's like become a really good playmaker in a way that I don't think I ever expected. Like his dribbling, his kind of movement off the ball, like as far as we can measure that stuff, it's all down significantly this year. But he's creating so many more chances than he used to. I think the number last year, he created 44 chances for his teammates, which is essentially just a pass that leads to a shot. He's already up to 20 this season. So he's basically halfway to where he was last season. And I think everyone thought he had a good season last year. So I think, to me, I never really saw Pulisic becoming sort of a playmaker type, but that's pretty much what he's done so far for Milan this season.
Herc, what are you seeing here? What's the big difference for you and Christian Pulisic this year versus year one at AC Milan, which, as we've noted many, many times, was still a pretty good campaign?
Very good campaign. We're starting to see Christian Pulisic come out of his shell. And I'm not talking about confidence. I'm talking about leadership. You actually want to see him involved. He wants to get involved. He wants to be that guy. I didn't see that at Chelsea. At times, he would kind of hide. He would kind of shy away from the responsibility. He welcomes it now. He relishes it with AC Milan, and it doesn't matter where you put him on the field, whether it's the right, the left, or in the middle, in the number 10 spot, he is thriving. When we see Christian Pulisic with the U.S. men's national team, we ask, why isn't he more of a vocal leader? We don't see the leadership by example, what he's doing when he has the ball, when he doesn't have the ball, what he's doing with guys off the pitch, where I think is very important. I'm seeing that, and I'm hearing that from officials in Milan, from reading things that we normally didn't see at Chelsea. And this is the biggest difference. It's not just confidence, it's a responsibility and accountability that he now has within the club.
Ryan, you're big on data here, and Herc and I talk about this quite often on the show. Herc's a big left-wing Christian Pulisic guy, okay? I love the idea, national team or club, of him playing through the middle. Based on the statistics, the data that you're seeing so far this season with Milan, is there a case to be made for where Christian Pulisic's true best position is?
I would have sided with Herc before this season, but like if you look at kind of where he's touching the ball a ton just in that sort of classic playmaker area, that basically the width of the 6-yard box, but extended out from the top of the top of the penalty area. Like that's where he's getting on the ball and making stuff happen. And it's kind of shocking to me that he's sort of added this level to his game. So I think given that, I think with the U.S. make a pretty good argument that playing him central might not be a bad idea, given kind of the more simplistic nature of the international tactics. But I think he's pretty much, it's kind of impressive that he's as productive on the right wing cutting in as he is on the left. So the data would show that he's pretty much comfortable on both sides, which again is another thing that I would have not expected to happen this season.
Here's the layer to Christian Pulisic's game that we didn't see before, his ability to read the game. And in a central position, you can affect the game much more. Why? Because you have many more options and channels and avenues to affect it. He's a player that when he's on the ball has the ability 1v1 open up and unlock defenses, read the game. He also gives you honest work, which is something that Paulo Fonseca really likes about him. I'm telling you, I go back to the accountability. This is a player that wanted nothing of it when he was at Chelsea. He wanted just to be there. He wanted to be part of the team. I think he wants more now. He wants to be that leader. And every single game we see from him, he contributes. doesn't matter what position, and not just on the offensive side of the ball. So Italy, and they say this all the time, that when you go to Italian soccer, you learn how to read the game. You learn the game tactically. I think Christian Pulisic is learning the game a different type of way, and that is unlocking a better Christian Pulisic.
Ryan, if we could for a minute, let's bring it back to the national team, because, of course, we just saw him in camp with Mauricio Pochettino. And Pochettino made a lot of headlines for the comments that he made about Christian Pulisic, calling him one of the best attacking players in the world. What do the analytics say about that? Is Christian Pulisic actually one of the best attacking players right now in the world?
Yeah, I mean, if we look at the currency we judge attackers by, it's goals and assists, right? And he's averaging basically a goal or an assist per 90 minutes. If you kind of look at all the players that have played at least 600 minutes, which is kind of like you basically play every minute of every game unless you're winning, and then the coach subs you out toward the end as an attacker, which again is rare. He's within like the top 10. So if he finishes the season scoring or assisting a goal a game, it's like there's going to be 5 guys in Europe basically by the end of the season that do that. So if he has played like one of the best attackers in Europe, I would say, so far this season. Is he likely to end the season at the same rate? Probably not. But like I said, a lot of the things he's done this season already are things I hadn't seen him do before.
All right, walk with me down the crazy path. I know you walk that way sometimes, Seb. Let's go that way. Let's imagine a set of teams that Christian Pulisic wouldn't walk into. Now, at first I was thinking roster, right? But no, Christian Pulisic will walk into most rosters around the world at some capacity. Let's do 11s. You're hard-pressed to really go out there. I mean, there are some teams he's going to struggle to walk into, but there are a lot of teams this kid's walking into. That's how good he is right now. And I could probably count the number of teams he wouldn't walk into if you're being realistic, right? The Real Madrids, the Barcelonas, because of the moment of a Rafinha or Yamal or those type of clubs. But you look at the other clubs, this kid right now with the way he's playing, with the numbers he's putting up, I saw a stat the other day that only Lautaro Martinez has more goal contributions since last season than Christian Pulisic. That's pretty good company. That's a player who's Ballon d'Or candidate. He's not going to win it, but he's up there. So Christian Pulisic right now has the numbers, has the confidence, and I think the way he's playing, he could easily walk into a lot of clubs.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the question here is, can he keep it up? This seems to be an incredible run of form, but can he do it for a full season at this level? Ryan, take me back to last year, because I seem to remember an article for you when Christian Pulisic got off to the decent start with AC Milan that might have suggested that maybe the XG, the data behind his hot start wasn't something that would last, that maybe that would cool off towards the end of the season. Are there any such indicators this time around, or is this indeed something that is sustainable, being the guy for AC Milan, as he's proven to be through the first handful of games so far this year?
Yeah, I would say that it's unlikely that he keeps scoring and assisting goals at this rate, just because of like what I said earlier, the number of people that can sustain a full season of being at 1 or more goals and assists per game. It's like Messi is basically the only player whose career average is there. Even Ronaldo's career average would be below that. So it's unlikely he stays at that level, and his expected numbers are worse than the 1.0 per 90. But like, ranking the players in the same way, his expected underlying numbers, they're way better than they were last year. So I think it's unlikely he ends the season at this kind of level of production, but I think it's very possible that he ends the season as like one of the most productive attackers in Europe, and definitely he could easily be Milan's best and most important player for the rest of the season.
All right, let me be Captain Obvious for a second. Health is going to be the biggest issue here, because that's probably been the biggest issue that's plagued him throughout his career. When he's been inconsistent, it's because he's not been available to be on the field. And if you can't be on the field, it doesn't matter how good you are, you're never going to show how good you are. So that's going to be key. Now, I know Mr. Casey Keller does not like Christian Pulisic missing national team games, but there seems to be some type of pandemic going on in world football where these international footballers playing these amount of games are getting injured, muscular injuries. It's normal. If he can somehow stay healthy, somehow pick and choose what games are important, and it's not load management. I think it's the new way of the world when it comes to footballing. you've got so many games, it's illogical to think these players are going to be machines and play every single game and nothing's going to happen, especially a player with this history. So if he can stay healthy, I've got no doubt in my mind he's going to break his own records. He's going to put up big numbers. But the key to Christian Pulisic, and it always has been, is health.